Welcome to the Ocarina of Time Chronicles, the first of many lore videos to come. Today's discussion we are starting is going to be about the Hero of Time, his childhood through adulthood. We'll also be going over up to how the timeline split happens, and what paths follow that split. But for now, we are going back to how the timeline split started, and diving into the lore of Link's childhood. So join us on the Ocarina of Time Chronicles. So to begin, we don't really know where Link came from, but we do know how he got to the Kokiri Forest by the Great Deku Sprout and the Hyrule Historia. And the story is, the war in Hyrule raged unabated for countless eras. In the midst of the confusion, a lone woman fled the fires of war, babe in arms, and escaped to the Forbidden Forest. She entrusted her child to the spirit of the Kokiri Forest, the Deku Tree. The Deku Tree, sensing that the infant's destiny was intertwined with Hyrule's future, took the child in. Once the child's mother had breathed her last, the babe was raised as a Kokiri. This boy would later become Link, the hero of... Jumping back a few years, about 7, it's finally time for Link to take the first steps on his journey. With the aid of Navi, who had been entrusted to him by the Great Deku Tree. But before meeting with the Great Deku Tree, Link has to acquire a sword and shield. As Link gets to exploring the Kokiri Forest, he finds a hidden treasure that he is able to borrow and practice with. After acquiring a sword, Link begins to hunt for rupees lying around. In a few short moments, he is able to finally purchase a shield from the shopkeeper. Now approaching Meadow, who guards the path to the Great Deku Tree. After getting assessed, Meadow thinks Link is equipped enough, but leaves with the comment that a wimp is still a wimp. As young Link approaches the Deku Tree, he reveals that a wicked man from the desert cursed him and is asking for Link's help to destroy the curse. Proceeding forward, Link shows courage and determination. Link enters the Great Deku Tree without hesitation and begins making his way deeper and deeper through the twisted hollow of the Forest Guardian, at one point acquiring a slingshot and making 5 Deku Scrubs retreat as they refer to their queen up ahead. After facing the dangers and challenges of the forest spirit, Link finally comes to where this parasitic curse has made its home. Link must show courage now more than ever, taking on the parasitic arachnid, Queen Goma. As the battle starts, Link pushes forward, not wanting to let the Deku Tree down. He begins to strike the parasitic curse that had made its home in the once powerful Deku Tree. After a few more blows, Link's courage shines through as the arachnid draws its last breath before falling forward, defeated. Link now heads to tell the Deku Tree the good news. However, it is short-lived, and the feeling of victory begins to wane as a heavy feeling is now in the air. As Link approaches the Great Deku Tree, he finds out more about the man from the desert, that he is using his sorceress powers on his quest to locate the sacred realm. The Deku Tree continues to tell Link more as his color slowly begins to fade. Before time began and before spirits and life existed, 3 golden goddesses descended upon the chaos that was Hyrule. Din, the goddess of power. Nehru, the goddess of wisdom. Faeror, the goddess of courage. Din. With her strong flaming arms, she cultivated the land and created the Red Earth. Nehru poured her wisdom onto the earth and gave the spirit of law to the world. And Faeror, with her rich soul, produced all life forms who would uphold the law. The 3 great goddesses, their labors completed, departed for the heavens, and golden sacred triangles remained at the point where the goddesses left the world. Since then, the sacred triangles have become the basis of our world's providence, and the resting place of the triangles has become the sacred realm. The Deku Tree then leaves Link a warning to never let the man from the desert enter the sacred realm. As the Deku Tree continues to grow weak, he gives Link the Kokiri's Emerald for demonstrating his courage. As a final word of advice, he tells Link to go see the Princess of Destiny, Zelda. The Deku Tree's life fades, but there's no time left to mourn. Even as it draws its final breath, Link makes his way to leave the forest. On his way to Hyrule Castle, however, he is stopped by Soraya. She has a feeling Link is meant for great things, as he is different from the other Kokiri. Knowing Link has to leave, she gives him an ocarina as a parting gift. For no Kokiri has dared to leave the woods, for it is said that they will die upon leaving the forest. Link, even though he knows the same thing as Soraya, continues his quest out the path of the woods undeterred. He knows what he has to do, and the words of the great Deku Tree echo through his head as he begins his trek to Hyrule Castle. Anyway, thank you guys for joining me for this new type of lore video. There will be more in the future of different video games, and of course we will be continuing Link's childhood lore, so pay attention for those videos to come out. If you liked what you saw, don't forget to like or share the video, as we will continue diving into the deep lore, and in the future we will split into the more deeper lore videos. But for now, we're just doing the basic of the Hero of Time's childhood, and we will see you in the next one.